Hello, Internet. It is I, Malik Aaron, and welcome back to Box Office Predictions. And the day has arrived. It is the day I talk about Minions, The Rise of Gru. So, as usual, we're going to be going over the pros and the cons. So, let's do this. Pros: Minions Rise of Gru is part of the Despicable Me franchise. Pretty sure you already knew that. It's the fifth movie overall in the series, the second Minions movie. Yeah, this series has been wildly successful. It's absurd. So you had the first movie come out in 2010. It was Illumination's first movie. And, thanks to a really good marketing campaign and the movie being, actually really good, made a lot of money, made over $500 million. So, of course, naturally, you make number two, which came out in 2013. This did way better than the first movie, making, the first movie made 250 million domestic, second made 368 million domestic, and nearly $1 billion worldwide. So, that's a crazy increase. So naturally, you make more, but you not only make more, you make spin-offs of the Minions, because those are the real money makers there. Like, they're walking, breathing advertisements. they just scream money. And so naturally, they would make Illumination made a Minions movie in 2015, and sadly, it did stupid well. It made $1 billion, over $1 billion. I believe at the time, if I think it was the second biggest animated movie of all time worldwide. I think the only movie that did better at that point was Frozen. So yeah, that's a that's a sad thing to say, but it made 300 million domestic, billion worldwide, which is really good for a spin-off, because usually spin-offs, they make less than the core entries in the franchise. This did better than the other two movies. And then we had Despicable Me 3, which took a bit of a slide, made $264 million domestic, but $1 billion worldwide. So, of course, you'd want to make more after that. So, even with this slight dip, that's still a lot of money. I believe it was still the biggest animated movie of that year, 2017. So, I really don't think Illumination is going to complain about that. And now here we are with Rise of Gru. So yeah, obviously, the success for Despicable Me just speaks for itself. So that's the easiest pro ever. It's part of a multi-billion-dollar franchise. So yeah, easy pro. Like the cornerstone of Illumination. So that's a pro. Another pro is just Illumination themselves. They have a very strong track record, box office wise. Going back to Despicable Me. I mean, that was their first movie, did extremely well. Then you had Hop, which we all want to forget. And that didn't do all that great. Then you got The Lorax, that did really well. You got Despicable Me 2 and Minions. And then you got Secret Life of Pets, Sing, Despicable Me 3, Grinch. Just hit after hit after hit after hit. It's insane. Secret Life of Pets 2 was their first true disappointment. Made about half as much as the first, which is not good. So yeah. And then you got Sing 2, which although made a lot less than the first movie, considering the circumstances it was going through, it still did really well. It was easily the biggest, the first animated movie to actually make legitimate cash in a long time, since at least Frozen 2. So it has that going for it. So yeah, it was the first real family movie to really break out of that funk, that pandemic funk. And now here we are with Rise of Gru. So yeah, Illumination's track record is very strong. They've had a couple of underperformers, but overall, phenomenal box office track record. I don't even think Pixar's track record is this good when it comes to hits to misses. So yeah, that's a pro. Illumination's box office track record. Another pro is that Universal is pushing this movie hella hard, because of course they are. This is one of their biggest brands. This is one of their most consistent brands when it comes to revenue. So obviously they're gonna push it as hard as they can. I mean, you're probably seeing ads, probably seeing just products at stores just having minions on them like all over the place. It reminds me of 2015, where literally I went to Walmart. Every single thing there was a minion. At least had a minion on it. It was an absolute nightmare, and I'm low key seeing that again. But you know what? Minions sell. Minions make money. The first movie is proof of that. So yeah, like yeah, strong ad campaign, a very aggressive ad campaign. That's an obvious pro. So that's pro number three. Pro number four, lack of competition right now. Lightyear is dead. It's absolutely dead. It's dead. It's a bomb. So that's not even an issue. So Minions Rise of Gru has that family audience completely to itself. Although it won't happen for long because in 2 weeks' time we have Pause the Fury. I don't think that's gonna make much of an impact. But 2 weeks after that, the end of July, we have DC League of Super Pets, and that will make a lot more of an impact. But until DC League of Super Pets comes out, or even Pause the Fury, Minions Rise of Gru should be fine when it comes to that family demographic. It has it all to itself. So yeah, that's an easy pro. Another pro is reviews. They're decent enough. They're not amazing, but they're not terrible. They're okay-ish. It's at 69%. Oh god. Oh, so yeah, 69%, which I mean, I don't it's not the type of score people look at and be like, "Ugh, disgusting. I only accept movies above 80%." No. That's fine enough. That's okay. I think it's audience score. Let me look at it. Uh, go scrolling down. 93%, which is quite high for some reason. But yeah. So reviews, word of mouth seem to be decent enough. So that's not a problem. So that's a pro. Another pro, I guess, is the situation surrounding this movie. And actually, this movie is kind of important. It's kind of an end of an era when you really think about it, because obviously this movie was supposed to come out a lot sooner than it did. It was supposed to come out July 2020. It was going to go up against Free Guy, which really would have been a hell of a battle. But obviously, you know what happened next? COVID said, nope, not today. And what didn't help is that Minions at that point, it wasn't finished yet, because and like the whole animation studio had to get like shut down for a bit. So they pushed it to 2021, July 2021. They were like, "All right, in 1 year things will be all right. We'll be good to go." And then they looked at 2021 and was like, "Nope, never mind. Push it again. Push it to 2022. Things have to be good by then." And here we are in 2022, and they were right. They were right to push it back 2 years, just like Top Gun Maverick. They were right. And what's hilarious is that Top Gun Maverick and Minions 2 would have come out back to back in 2020 in that alternate timeline. But yeah, like as we've seen, movies have been making blockbuster money now. Ever since No Way Home, there's been a bit of a box office renaissance. I mean, you have the Batman, the Sonic 2, you got Doctor Strange 2, Top Gun Maverick, the biggest one. Well, besides Spider-Man. Jurassic World Dominion's doing great. So, yeah, like, they were absolutely right to push it back 2 years. Because the numbers don't lie. And, you know, this is technically the last of the 2020 movies to be released. Like, I checked. I looked at the original 2020 schedule of movies. Every single one of them has now been released in some form or fashion. Either theaters, streaming, PVOD, whatever. They've all been released. And this was the last major one to be released. So, yeah. End of an era. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, I think pushing it back 2 years actually didn't do any harm to the movie. It actually helped the movie. So even though I've been seeing toys of this movie at Walmart just rotting on the shelves for 2 years, yeah, that those two delays did a lot more good than harm for this movie. So, you know, the 2 year delay I say was a pro because it actually helped this movie out. And I guess final pro, it's Thursday box office. God damn. I wasn't I was expecting some money, but I was not expecting this. It made 10.75 million on Thursday, which is a lot for a family movie, for an animated movie. It's kind of crazy. And for comparison's sake, Toy Story 4 had a Thursday preview of $12 million. Incredibles 2 had a preview of $18 million. And this is even bigger than Frozen 2. That was like 8.5. Granted, that came out in November where kids were in school. This is coming out in summer where kids aren't in school. So this movie clearly has the advantage. But that's crazy. That's a crazy amount. In fact, I'm gonna look at the whole list. So it's down here. Well, it's only for 10 million plus movies, but right here, it's right here for number 59. Yeah, Toy Story 4, that was 12 million. And where is it? Incredibles 2, 18.5 million. Those are the only family movies that do better than Minions Rise of Gru. So it's in some good territory. Um so it's doubled Lightyear. It did a lot better than Sonic 2. And those movies had like 2 days worth of previews. This only had one. Granted, Thursday previews started like at 2 p.m. Which at that point you might as well just call it its unofficial opening day. But whatever. Yeah, it did way better than those movies, so that's an incredible sign that this movie's going to make some serious bank this weekend. So, yeah, Thursday previews being hella strong, that's a pro. Uh, any cons? Well, I guess for all the cynical people out there, one would think people would be really tired of these movies. This is the fifth movie in the series, the second Minions movie. When you reach like 4 or 5 in a series, people are just like, okay, does this need to happen? Do we need this? And a lot of series like straight up just fall out by number 4 or 5. Like, look at Ice Age. That did pretty darn well the first 4 movies, and then the fifth just plummeted into oblivion. So yeah, that's a hell of an example. I guess Lightyear too, to an extent. That was technically the fifth Toy Story movie. That tanked hard. So when you reach number 5, that's not a good number to land on. But this movie seems to be bucking that trend. So yeah, yeah. But yeah, I guess it was a con I originally had, but obviously I don't have any more because the box office speaks for itself. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. And just for like Illumination in general, like a lot of people online really don't like Illumination movies, and for good reason. They all feel like very corporate and safe, and just like they have no real passion or soul behind them. But they make money, and in the world of movies, money is everything. So our opinions don't matter, clearly. So yeah, I want to mention that. So yeah, I think that's it. That's literally it. There's nothing else to say. So, well, I guess I might as well mention how family movies this year, they've been doing pretty well for the most part. And you got Sonic 2, that did great. You got The Bad Guys, did really well. I still really want to see that movie, and I know it's on Peacock right now, and I will watch it as soon as possible because I've heard really good things about it. I'd rather watch that than this. So, yeah. The only real fail, at least major fail, we've had is Lightyear. So that's like 2 out of 3 success, 66% success rate. That's soon gonna go up to 75%. So yeah, like family movies have been doing really well this year. Proof that the family market is indeed back, and they are back in full force. So that's great. But anyway, okay, that's another pro we can list. Okay, that's it. So opening weekend. This is a holiday. I didn't even mention 4th of July holiday. I might as well mention that last pro, the very last pro. 4th of July, one of the biggest, weekends of the year for movies, or at least it technically should be. Theoretically, it should be. But sometimes 4th of July can be an absolute disaster. But it kind of depends on like what movies come out and when 4th of July, like when that day is, during the week. Because if it's on a weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's bad. that's bad for everything. I mean, look at last year. Like the box office, like throughout that weekend, tanked because Saturday, no, it was Sunday. Fourth of July was Sunday last year. The box office just slid the whole weekend. It was bad. Uh, so we won't have that problem this year because, like, if Fourth of July is on a weekday, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then it's great for every movie. Then movies actually benefit from it. And thankfully, Minions doesn't have, you know, the date where Fourth of July is a detriment. So yeah, we've had a lot, and Fourth of July, like Minions, the Despicable Me really likes opening near Fourth of July. Despicable Me 2 opened on Fourth of July. Despicable Me 3 came out right at Fourth of July, a couple days before, but close enough. So yeah, Minions Rise of Gru wants to do the same thing because it works out. So yeah. So that's another pro. Okay, no more pros. Opening weekend. Originally, I would have been like 70, 80 million. But this preview number has told me, no, that's not going to happen. It's going to go much higher. Maybe 100 million if well, definitely 100 million, judging by the number. So I think this movie has a chance of reaching 100 million domestic for the 3-day weekend. And for the 4-day, 115. At least 115. That's what I think. So that's what I'm going with. 100 million for the 3-day weekend, depending on like if it's like front load or anything, and then like 115 for the 4-day weekend. And yeah. And then it's total 300 plus million, I think, is ideal. It will definitely reach that. I don't think it'll be the biggest hit of the series, but it should at least make 300 plus million. It should do better than Despicable Me 3. It should definitely do that much. So, yeah. And overseas, it's going to make a killing. It absolutely is going to make a killing. I mean, look at the box office for the other Despicable Me movies. I mean, I'm going to show you. Okay. Look at those worldwide numbers. Like, you're gonna tell me Minions 2 isn't gonna do well overseas? Get out of here. This movie's gonna print money for Universal, who really needs it, because this year, it started out as a disaster, but summer's been very good to them. I mean, you had Jurassic World Dominion, now you got this. They should be fine. So, yeah, and that's it for Minions Rise of Gru. I never have to talk about it again, at least until I do my July recap or my summer recap or my yearly recap. Besides those videos, I don't have to talk about it again. Thank God. And then next up on the channel, we got Mr. Malcolm's List, which I'm sure is going to be a smash hit. No, it's not going to make anything. And then that's it for the weekend. So, yeah. And the next weekend, Thor Love and Thunder. That's going to be a video to make. So stay tuned for that. But anywho, yeah, that's it. That's all. Make sure to subscribe, like this video, leave a comment, turn notifications, share the whole drill. Want to check out more videos like this? I got playlists on the homepage full of all previous prediction videos I made this year. If you want to look at any of the family movie predictions I made this year, Sonic 2, Bad Guys, Lightyear, Family Camp. If you want to watch any of those, you can. Go right ahead. So, go do that. There's also the canceled series where I go over all the movies that were supposed to come out but didn't. Minions Rise of Gru was one of the first movies I ever covered when it comes to the series. Like, it was episode 2. It was that early on. And then, that was its first delay. And then second delay, I believe, was episode 44. And then that's it. I only talked about it twice. So, only talked about it twice. So, yeah. So if you want to watch those episodes, you can. Go right ahead. But if you want to watch... And plus, I made a recent cancel episode, like yesterday. This is about Dune Part 2 and Godzilla vs. Kong 2. Both having, like, new dates. So if you want to watch that episode or any other cancel episodes, all 135 episodes, you have more than enough to choose from. Binge it from beginning to now. Just go nuts. I encourage it. So go do that. There's also box office recaps where I go over the box office results for any particular month. June recap will come out next week. That will certainly be an interesting video. That whole month was real roller coaster, real up and down. So that should be interesting to talk about. So stay tuned for that. But if you want to watch any of the past recap videos I made, you can go right ahead. And yeah, that's it. That's all. I am out. Goodbye.